Hi guys, and welcome back to RC Workshop. So today we are back on to number 3 of Mad Ball Project Overkill. Today is to get this roll cage fixed solid to the chassis, so it's a main part of it, so it's all one big solid piece. And then I can start building the front shocks as well, which is also on today's project. Front shocks, I'm still undecided as to whether to use the Revo cantilevers on the front, or I think the original way would be better. These nice big shocks on there, standing upright. I just think it looks 10 times better, and it'll work better, and it's less hassle. It's straight up forward, no messing. The problem is getting these to mount onto the car somewhere strong, a strong point that ain't gonna weaken up and fall apart. So I think it might be straightforward standing up shocks, but big ones at the front, standing up. So what we'll do in a bit, guys, is drop down the bottom. I'll show you what I've got up to and how we're gonna mount this floppy cage to the chassis to make it nice and rigid. See you in a bit. Right then, so let's get this roll cage mounted to the car and solid so we can continue with the rest of the build. So first things first is that little plastic shock tower, hideous little shock tower, really weak actually, is going. Original shocks going. Now what you can see I've already done is drilled an extra hole in the car, because there was only two little screws holding that whole shock tower on. Then I've done is built a mount for the front ×2 that's going to go there. Then the threaded bar will then go through the roll cage. Oops, it's a bit fiddly. Through the roll cage, and then through the piece of angle aluminium. That aluminium then will bolt down into the car. That'll go all the way through. What I'll do is I'll mount it up and I'll come back to you in a sec. How about that? See you in a sec, guys. Right then, guys, so I've got all that fixed up. The brackets are sort of where the existing shock mount used to be, but obviously metal ones, with 4 screws now instead of 2. And then, let's say what we've got then is a hole drilled either side, threaded bar going through, and then an aluminium tube bar going over the top of each. This is all still got to be bolted together properly. Like at the minute, everything's sort of just finger tight. When we bolt this up completely tight with the spanners, it's going to be really solid. So next we're going to go on to shocks. I've had a different idea. Like I say, this Revo shock thing, it was a cool idea, but I don't think it's really going to work, and it ain't really going to give the truck much suspension. So what I've come up with is, based on this idea, so there'll be a threaded bar going through, like so, and then there'll be a nice big shock at the front going through that threaded bar onto the roll cage, sort of like that. I think that looks 10 times better than the Revo shocks would have. They are big shocks, and they're gonna work a treat. Look, there you go. What I'll do, I'll get them mounted up, cut some bar for the centre, get them all mounted up, and come back to you, show you, see what it looks like. See you in a sec. Right then, these shocks are mounted. Are you ready? Look at that! No way. That is no longer a Mad Ball, that's something else. That's brilliant. They look real well as well, look really nice mounted there. Brings it back into like looking like a truck. So that side thing just wasn't going to work out. It was going to have some really weak points where I'd mount that the lever. That looks really good. Roll cage is all mounted onto the chassis, so that's all solid now. Mounted onto the chassis on the back, that's all solid. Rear shocks are all on and working, and you've got full stroke of them back shocks as well, and it just misses the roll cage inside there. Then the front, full stroke of the shock. You have got some camber on at the minute. It looks old school like that, but that camber will go as soon as you sit it on the floor with the battery in there, and the motor and the speed control and the receiver. That'll go and it'll run flat. Steering still works really nice, and it looks mean. That looks brilliant. Might make some decals in white or black, probably black, saying Project Overkill along the back, and even Mad Bull, Project Overkill Mad Bull, running down the side of that roll cage. Everything is still finger tight at the moment and all needs tightening up, but that is coming on really nice. You could actually run that like that right now. Tighten it all up, put a bit of Loctite on all these as you tighten them up, and it'll be solid. Wheels are on there, looking real fab, with the big size 1/8 hexes behind. You could even put some big truck wheels on there if you wanted to really, but that is looking something else. It's still a Mad Bull under there as well. I've not done too much with the main chassis. The main chassis is still there, look underneath. And there you go. So the next thing we need to do is cut away some of that inner chassis to get this battery mounted up inside. So the battery is going to sit somewhere there, but inside the chassis. So what it'll do is it'll go in this direction, inside there, right to the back through this little loop there. I just need to do a bit of cutting and shaving and filing, get that battery mounted in there, get the brushless system on, and that'll be in the next video, guys. So like I say, please rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, which is all the electrics going in, and we'll hopefully get these back wheels spinning and this servo steering. See you on the next one.